like obviously we dug ourselves a hole in the second quarter of 16 points, which was tough to come back from. We won 3 quarters out of 4, and you lose the game. Well, then that hole has to be, deep. We've got to figure out like a sense of urgency when this happens. A sense of urgency of, hey, this is happening right now. So we've got to find a way to stop those runs. Okay, we've had this a little bit in the last couple of games because fact is, like we give ourselves chances to, seriously be in the games. Like seriously be in the CSKA game, seriously be in the Real game, seriously be in the Milano game. But we've got to reward ourselves. And the biggest thing is again like not getting into those holes.
What was lacking in the defense tonight?
I thought the effort. It was in the first half. We missed to take a couple fouls that we should have taken to like stop fast breaks, stop easy baskets, and then also in the first half we gave up some easy corner threes of strong side helps, which really really hurt us. Really hurt us. So that's kind of where the whole digging like kind of started.
Coach, it's not the first time when the team has so many problems on defense, especially in the first half. Is it just one-on-one defense? Is it something more not working?
It's we're really looking at, really working on it. We're like again, I think it's a combination of a few little things, that on this level are not little though. If you combine a wrong rotation plus a not taken foul, and if you put 4 of those together, now suddenly it's an 8-point game for the opponent on this level, So we really have to get better at, being all the way disciplined with what we do.
The team seemed like to wake up after a technical foul. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that technical foul woke them up a bit?
If that was the case, then okay, no problem at all. We needed to ignite somehow, But again, generally speaking, like the group is a fighting group. It's a competitive group, and that's something that I cannot and will never like kind of let get on the guys. Somebody saying they don't compete or don't play hard. Like they do extremely, and they do a good job there on the competitive level.
About the technical, what happened down there?
Oh, I was just like upset about a call, a missed foul call, whether it was missed or not. It plays a role. As you say, you're down. You've got to find a way how to change momentum a little bit. How the game goes.
Kevin Panther had his career game. Just on Tuesday, Mike James had a great game. Are these kind of guards some kind of problem for Zalgiris defense?
I mean, I think those guards are problems for everybody. I think Mike James was big time yesterday again in Munich, as far as I remember, right? And so I think there are problems for everybody, to be honest. Again, perhaps it is sense of urgency where, okay, hey, this guy is going off now, perhaps I've got to commit a hard foul, perhaps I've got, something like this, So again, we're working on it very hard.
After the game, you talked to Dora Misuna. What was about this conversation?
Basketball conversation, pure basketball conversation. I worked for 2 coaches who are friends of his, so there is and I watched him practice way back in the days in Real Madrid, and I've always studied him very closely. So he's a very special coach for me, So I just had some questions for him.
It looked like you found the right guys with Lukas, Rokas, and Augustin in the third, and they made that huge comeback. How much these 3 guys were important in achieving that?
Yeah, I mean, very important, right? Sometimes that's what it is. You shuffle, you shift, you look for rotations, right? And And that's sometimes what it is, right? You've got to just find them, and then if you found them, well, you kind of stick with them, right? You give them a break here and there for a couple of seconds, but then bring them on the floor again. I thought Lukas and Rokas were very important against the switching defense of Milano, because they could break down their bigs. In the last 4 minutes of the game, they stopped the switching completely. Because those guys were doing a good job, and you're absolutely right. We found a group that kind of fit the game.
That run happened without Grigonis, who was in foul trouble. Kind of the same happened on Tuesday against Skab, and Grigonis got in foul trouble, and he was watching from the bench with the team coming back. Is it some kind of just players pulling together with Grigonis on the bench?
Yeah, I mean, players pulling together is the one thing, but also what I want to say is, like, with Marius on the bench, like, Marius, like, is completely committed out there, especially here with no fans. You hear every word, you hear the communication, and Marius is all the way committed, and all the way, like, fighting and talking and communicating, even if he's not on the floor. So what I want to say is, like, even in the time where he was not on the floor, he was really, participating in the team's play,
Kaunas started the game but played only 8 minutes, basically none in the second half. What was not working for him on defense? That's a problem.
Yeah, matchups. That's it really has not happened often. Like, Yankee really does a great job, even in matchup situations where, on paper, you may say, "Hey, perhaps this guy is like a little too fast or something," right? Like, think about what he did against Shengelia like a couple of days ago, right? Like, an unbelievable game, right? Phenomenal defensive game, and this game, just the matchups didn't fit, and that's what it is.
4 losses in a row. How does the team react after these kind of losses?
They pull together and they work. And I think that's the only way to do. They are together. They fight. They compete. They practice. And that's all I can. That's what I'm asking from them. And we will keep fighting and keep working, and we will keep figuring it out. Because again, like, the games that we've lost, and you lose, and that's what it is, right? Fact is, though, too, that in 3 out of the 4 losses, we were extremely tightly in the game, and it's very important to not lose, your faith in the overall picture here, It's important to analyze, it's important to get better, it's important to strategize, but the moral of the group is completely there, and I cannot and will not, and there is no reason to criticize anybody on the team because they are pulled together and dedicated.